This is the next part. Let's see what happens this time. The courtyard. Depending on what we find here, the entire incident could become clear. However... Fuck.
There's nothing left. There's nothing left here.
Yesterday...
Isn't there one more possibility? The well in the courtyard. It's possible the body was dropped down from there. In other words, the body being dropped down the well. The body being dropped down the well and then moved to the workroom could only have been done during the show. Yeah, that was one sentence. And the only one who could have done it is Simon Keyes.
Was the body dropped down the well or not? This could be the decisive clue that we need to reach. That we need to reach the truth of the matter. Before I continue with the investigation, I should organize my evidence. Okay, let's see how that went. And we still have 3 pages. I love it. I guess the keys are gone. I don't notice much else though. The dog. It's not a lot that was thrown out.
Let's see here. Hey, there's a grate here.
The well is run dry after all. They even put a lock on it.
Lockpicking is one of my specialties. Wanna see?
There's absolutely no need for you to show off.
Aw, come on! Don't be like that! Whoa!
Hold on, I gotta turn off flux. I can only turn it off in like 2-hour increments. What happened, Kay?
The lock is broken, judging from the looks of it. It feels like it was broken some time ago.
So the lock was broken. This means that anyone could have dropped the body down this well. According to Judge Courtney's reasoning, Mr. Keyes murdered Knightley in the courtyard. And then, during the show, he disposed of the body in the well. You think so? Did he really use the well to move the body?
Ah, I know! Let's get Missile to help us again. He should be able to track the scent of the body.
Good idea. Let me contact Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Gumshoe here. Detective, I have a favor to ask of you. We would like for you to bring Missile to the prison courtyard.
Sounds like you need the help of one of my 7 secret weapons, huh?
I thought Missile belonged to the police department. And also, I would like for you to contact a witness. Please contact Regina Berry of the Berry Big Circus and bring her here.
Roger that, sir. I'll bring them over in a flash. So, what can we do? What can we do while we wait for Gummy? How about some hide and seek?
What are you talking about, Kay? There's nowhere to hide here. I don't think that is the issue. Kay, during times like this, isn't it your turn to shine?
Oh, that! You want me to recreate the crime scene?
Huh? How do you do that?
See for yourself. The Great Thief's secret weapon, Little Thief.
Whoa, what's that? Screens floating in midair. Just what are you doing, Kay?
I'm entering the information needed for the simulation.
Mr. Shields, this Little Thief is a tool that can recreate the crime scene based on information that is given.
Should I see how this place? Should I set? Should I set it for how this place was like when we came here yesterday?
Yes, I believe that they were in the middle of taking down the set. We didn't pay enough attention to the well, so it's sensible we may have missed a clue.
Leave it to me. I took a picture of the place too. There, and there. Data entry complete. Now to set the projection to maximum output. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
What? What just happened?
I recreated the courtyard from yesterday, based on the information I entered. This was a tool the previous Yatagarasu used. It's a device to run simulations to practice stealing things.
But used in this manner, we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past.
Oh, but it's still only a recreation based on what information we have. I can't recreate what I don't have information for, and if my information is incorrect, the recreation could come out as strange too.
In this case, since Kay had a photo, there should be no problems. Now let's begin the investigation.
Since it's a recreation, you can examine things just like you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction.
Yes, I know. First, I should start with that well. Let's examine the area around the well. It holds the key to this case. This is a metal weight. It weighs... It's hard to see in the recreation. Okay, do you remember?
I think it was 33 pounds. 15 kilograms. I wonder what such a heavy thing was used for.
It doesn't seem to be directly related to the circus. Rope. It's a sturdy hemp rope.
It looks like the rope they use for tug-of-wars.
I'm not going to play tug-of-war with you.
I didn't even say anything yet.
There's a metal stake attached to the end of the rope.
Ah! You use those to pin down the tent when you go camping.
It doesn't seem like they'd need this for the performance. I wonder what it was used for. Oh, that's nothing. This outlined thing is not a thing. There are some pulleys here. They don't appear to be the pulley that was used to lift the bucket from the They don't appear to be the pulley that was used to lift the bucket from the well. The well was behind the stage. That means only a few people would have access to dump a body in the well during the performance. This isn't looking good for Mr. Keys.
These things are on the well. What were they used for?
Gee, a weight, rope, and a pulley. I cannot imagine what those would have been used for. Can anyone help me here? I have no idea.
They don't seem to be related to the animal show.
I agree. We can ask Miss Berry about it later. These were used for audience seating during the show.
Folding up all these chairs must have been a chore.
Is that so?
Don't tell me you've never tidied up folding chairs before? Don't tell me you've never tidied up folding chairs before?
I've delegated the task to others in the past.
Mr. Edgeworth, you should try doing some manual labor once in a while.
I'll look into it. What was the elephant's name again?
She's a Steak, the Asian elephant.
Yeah, I hope. Ah, that's right, it's an easy name to remember. Maybe they couldn't think of a good name, so they gave her a name that's easy to remember? What?
Mr. Edgeworth, what a terrible thing to say about poor Estique!
That's all the information we can gather for now. The detective should be here soon. Okay, go ahead and shut down Little Thief.
Alright. Returning the area to normal.
Yeah, Kay almost fucking died. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. I guessed right. Oh, Bishop, you're gonna love Regina's voice if you hate my falsettos.
Hey, speak of the gummy.
Detective Gumshoe, that was quick.
I couldn't keep you waiting for too long, sir. Thanks for coming along too, Regina. No problem. It sounded like fun, so I skipped practice to come here.
Thank you for your cooperation. First, Detective, let's have Missile to do some tracking.
No problem, sir. Hey, Missile. Over here, pal. Hey, what's eating you, pal? I said over here.
What's the matter?
It looks like he's scared of something, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! Alligator! I guess he's scared of the alligator, sir.
Good grief. Looks like Missile won't be much help to us. So what should we do, Miles? Maybe we can ask Miss Berry for help.
What is it? What is it? Is there something I can do? Do you want me to teach Allie a trick?
Actually, she probably could. No, I just need you to tell me about the condition of the courtyard during the show.
Looks like it's my time to shine again.
Yes, if you please.
Alright, that should do it. I'm starting up the recreation now.
Oh boy.
Recreation complete. This time you can see how the courtyard was during the animal show.
This should be around the time the body was dropped down the well.
Wow, cool! It's just like magic! It's not magic. It's just recreated the scene based on the information you gave us. See? Look over here. Over there, I guess.
The backstage area is missing.
Well, Regina didn't help with the preparation, so she doesn't really know how it was set up.
I get it. You can't recreate what you don't have the info for, huh?
I'm sorry. It's because Simon took care of the setting up everything.
Don't worry yourself none, Regina Pie. Miles is the one who's at fault here. Why me?
Mr. Edgeworth, I've recreated the show in progress, but I can also change it to how it was earlier when it was being taken down.
I see. So we can examine the courtyard during the show and after the show. We can freely switch between the two different states. To change the recreation, select Little Thief on the bottom screen. What the fuck is the bottom screen? Hold on, I'll let you just do this. Okay. Let's begin the investigation. These chairs are lined up in an orderly fashion. I guess there were a few empty seats during the performance.
This intimate atmosphere and the closeness between the stage and the audience, it reminds me of the karaoke tournament I entered when I was a kid.
Karaoke tournament?
I was the runner-up! Dark skies of the eve... I don't know how to sing this. dark skies of the evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now listen to the song of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Cool. Don't tell me you actually sang that song.
Of course, the song rocks!
I'm surprised she actually made it to the finals. Did she steal second place? No, if she didn't steal first place, she must have gotten there fair and square. It's the cage of the Asian elephant, Astique. The elephant is performing on stage right now, so the cage is empty.
I wonder how Astique entered the courtyard.
What do you mean, how? The entrance here is human-sized.
Oh, the entrance here is human-sized and the fence is electrified. I don't think an elephant would enter from there.
They could just turn off the electricity.
If they did that, all the inmates would escape.
I doubt anyone would escape while an elephant was entering.
I wonder how she came in. This requires some thought.
She seems to be enjoying her little brain teaser. I should just let her be. Oh? This crate was empty in the recreation earlier. Was it? I didn't check.
That's right. But it was also empty in the picture I took. Ah, I'm sorry. That information is wrong.
What do you mean?
This crate contained Astique's food. In the morning of the day of the show, all the apples were gone. I totally forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Missing apples, huh? I should make a note of it. What? What logic do I have? Oh God. I'm gonna guess this. The apples in the crate were probably eaten by Astique.
But it's strange. I remember leaving the crate out of reach from Astique's nose.
Are you certain?
Yes! The crate was still full of apples on the night of before the show.
Then the cart was moved where her nose could reach it. With that many apples, it could not have been moved by the wind. Most likely, the crate was moved by a person. Prior to the show, the cart's position was already changed, and the apples were all eaten. This appears to be the correct information. Please update the simulation parameters, Kay.
Alright, I'll use the new info to recreate the scene. Using the info we got from Regina, I'll recreate the scene with the card in its actual place.
I think I'm switching back to my falsetto.
Recreation complete.
Also, these two things can also be tools. And a kilogram. Or not. Yeah.
A love story between an elephant and a tiger. I really wanted to see that. I also wanted to see Simon in action. Simon is really amazing, especially the part where he gets blown away.
Blown away. That's the scene in question.
At that point, the suspect in the role of the villain is blown away by the heroine's burning love and makes his exit. After being blown away, the suspect disappeared from the stage.
Are you saying the crime was committed during that time? Do you know how long he was gone from the stage?
Let me think, about 15 minutes or so.
It's just as Judge Courtney said. But isn't it dangerous to be blown away by an elephant?
It's alright, Astique is very gentle.
That's not what we were worried about here.
During the first few practices, he was having trouble getting blown away. Then all of a sudden, he was able to be sent flying beautifully. He might be using some sort of device, but it's amazing.
No. A device. Do you know anything about it?
I have no idea. Simon handled it all by himself.
Okay, now let's do some logic. Simon stunned, tools around the well. Oh jeez! Oh jeez, Edgeworth, I don't know if I could do this. God, shut up, Kate. Mr. Keys used a device for his stunt. Maybe the tools around the well are connected to this. Okay, I'd like to recheck the tools lying around the well yesterday. Can you change the recreation to the after the show scene?
Roger.
The tools lying around the well. Could they have been a part of his device?
It seems very likely. I wonder if it's possible to recreate the device.
If you ask Mr. Keys, he should be able to tell you how the device was put together.
Alright, I'll go ask him.
And we just wait.
Mr. Edgeworth, I asked him about it.
And did you find out how the device works?
He used a rope to hang some weights on the well's pulley. The weights were suspended inside the well. Then he ran the rope through two more pulleys and tied the end of the rope to his own body.
So he used the force of the falling weights to send him flying. With 15 kilograms? But what's to stop the weights from falling on their own?
In order to prevent that from happening, he used a stopper.
Miss Berry didn't know anything about the well. That means Mr. Keys removed the stopper himself. But not 15 kilograms, Slim.
Correct, that's why a second rope was needed. This rope was attached to the stopper, and when it was pulled from the stage, the stopper would be removed and the weights would drop down the well. I'm definitely going to steal this idea. The Adagarasu won't lose to something like this.
Don't waste your time. Circus acts require extensive training. Even if you steal the device, it won't do you any good.
Then I'll train as well.
Before you start training, could you first update the recreation?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You wanted me to recreate the device that was used in the performance. First, let's return to the during the show scene. Next, I'll input the information on the device on the well. Now we can recreate the device Simon made.
So this is the device that Mr. Keys used. Simon sure is gutsier than he looks. Oh, was that Kay?
Using the falling weights as the force to launch himself during his performance.
Indeed. He would have to drop enough weights to exceed his own body weight. Yeah, he would. In order to provide the strength needed to pull him off the stage.
Simon must have practiced a lot for this. Huh? Isn't this strange?
What's wrong, pal? Haven't you noticed, Detective? What's strange about the weight is... I guess the number? I mean, the weight still... It depends on your definition of weight in that situation. The weight's weight is the number. What's strange is the number of the weights. Oh, of the weights. I thought... Okay. Okay. In other words, it's not heavy enough. In order to pull up Mr. Key's body weight, yeah, I forgot to read that gumshoe line. But where did the rest of the weights disappear to? Looks like it's time to use my 7 secret weapons, sir! If necessary, I'll let the detective know. Wait, what? I pressed that. Mr. Edger, if you've got that look on your face like you want to use my secret weapon, sir. Missile isn't in the mood, but I've got my fishing rod ready to go. Oh, you prefer the metal detector. I've never seen the detective eyes sparkle like that. If need be, I'll let you know. For now, just stand by. Okay, none of that really... I mean, I guess I could try the metal detector and... But that doesn't really make sense. Okay, apparently it does. Detective Gumshoe, it's time for your secret weapon. Yes, sir! I was hoping for the metal detector. I don't get many chances to use this one. Before we begin the search, let me go over how to use the metal detector, sir. This metal detector uses sound. Oh god, that lags the game. And this meter to let you know how close you are to the metal object. When you get closer to a metal object, the metal detector will have a bigger reaction, like this. When you get the biggest reaction, give me the order to examine that spot, sir. Now let's see what we've got. It's just the metal fence. And that's basically how you search for metal objects. Just give me the instructions on... Just give me the instructions on where you want to search, sir. Well, this is gonna be terrible. We slow shoe now. Here, sir, it looks like there's something here. I don't see anything that could be metallic. What could be causing this reaction? Maybe there are iron fillings around here. Iron fillings, like the ones you collect with a magnet. Oh, filings. Filings. We're not talking about teeth. Yes, sir, I guess there are Miss Windows and here. If we're going to pull them out, we need a secret weapon number 6. Or was it 7? Can't you even keep that much straight? It's just a regular magnet I bought at the hardware store. Hold near the ground and presto, pick them all up, sir. Wow, this is really, well, what do you know? Finding simple joy in the simple tasks. What a simpleton. Let's check somewhere else. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to. Okay, and this was also removed. I don't even want to know how fast that is when it's like full speed. Yeah, there's a reaction here too, sir. Let's check it out, huh? I found these in the clumps of grass here. These are the weights used for the hoisting device. Were these intentionally hidden? There's four of them in all, sir.
That many weights could be enough to lift Simon.
So the other weights that were used in the device were hidden. Why were they hidden over here though?
See? I'm really earning my keep today, aren't I, sir? Alligator! Ah! The alligator! That scared me, pal!
Huh? What's the matter, detective?
It looks like the metal detector is reacting to this alligator. Really? Why?
Are you sure it isn't just still reacting to the weights? German is a terrible language. It makes you make mistakes.
It's a different reaction, sir, and it's definitely coming from the alligator.
It's gone.
Why are you laughing?
Oh.
Looks like it's scared of us. I don't think so, Kay. Huh? If anything, I think Allie looks a little under the weather.
Allie. I suppose that was what Warden Roland called it.
She didn't eat any of the food that the warden gave her yesterday. I think she might have eaten something bad.
So I guess the metal detector could be reacting to whatever the alligator ate. Oh, it wasn't the German spelling, it's the whole thing that RW and your, like, the W and V is, like, different. We don't have your W, RW sounds like your V, that whole thing.
Oh, maybe she ate one of the weights.
I doubt that even an alligator can ingest a 15 kilogram weight. But what could that metal detector be reacting to? And regardless, why were these weights hidden? Maybe we should take another look at the device on the well. Okay, I'd like you to recreate the after the show scene again.
Alright, leave it to me.
I won't rest. Okay. Okay, these are... Wait, what? What did it say here? This is a metal weight, it weighs. It's hard to see. Do you remember? Oh, okay. Guess I could also examine this for once. This pulley was used to lift the bucket from the well. The bucket can't be found. This rope was part of the device used during the show.
To be able to create a device with just one piece of rope, Simon is surprisingly handy.
One piece of rope? It seems that there is a contradiction with the device. The deuce! Rope! Oh. Why? Yes, and I just showed you what's missing, asshat. Okay, then let's fucking show the entire device. This recreation and the device we saw earlier. There is a major discrepancy. One of the ropes is missing.
You're right.
Without it, the device won't work.
I wonder what happened to it.
Where did the missing rope disappear to? It's possible that we hold a piece of evidence that shows where the rope went. Eh? Which piece of evidence shows where the missing rope? Fuck you! The rope we found with the dead body.
Could it be? Could it be? Could it be?
Shit. Yup, always. Yes, it could be the other piece of... It could be the other piece of rope that was used here.
Then does that mean...
This rope was attached to the weight. However, the weight was not one of these metal weights. These weights were hidden in the grass and replaced with something else.
If the key was... if they were replaced, then what was used as the weight?
What was tied to the rope we found in the workroom? If we can recall that, then the answer should be clear. The weight was dropped in place of the weight that was dropped in place of the weights that Mr. Keys had prepared was the body? What dropped down the well was none other than Knightley's dead body.
Mr. Knightley's body was used as weight?
Yes, the weights were replaced with Knightley's body. Mr. Keys used the device to launch himself off the stage. When the rope that was tied to him was undone and let go, both the body and the rope dropped down the well. The rope wasn't used to tie up Knightley. It was used to suspend him inside the well. That also explains why the other weights were hidden.
So no one would find what the weights were that the weights were replaced with the body.
Yes, the killer was the one who hit the weights. But Miles, wasn't Knightley boy stabbed in the neck with the murder weapon? If he was suspended in the well, wouldn't there be blood at the bottom of the well? The killer was also aware of that. That's why they used this item. Which item did the killer use? Take that! The sheet we found near the body. It was used to wrap up the body. I see. It looks like all the pieces are starting to come together, eh?
But this means that the body definitely came from the well. If that's the case, wouldn't that mean Simon is the killer?
No, that's not necessarily the case.
But yesterday, Judge Courtney said...
If Mr. Keys was the killer, would he have needed to set up such an elaborate device?
I guess you have a point.
Mr. Keys was only responsible for dropping the body during the show. In other words, it doesn't matter where the real killer was or what they were doing during the show. Until now, this placed the doubt on the people who did not watch the animal show.
It's true. We also suspected Mr. Dogan.
The killer's true intent was to make us think that the murder occurred during the show. In other words, they used the device on the well to create a fake alibi. Miss Berry, do you know when this device on the well was set up?
Let me think. The body? The day before the show. I think it was at night. We all started preparing at 9 p.m. We finished at around midnight.
The killer replaced the weights with the dead body afterwards. Did Dogan know about the device? No, even if he knew about the device, it wouldn't be possible for him to use it. You can't teach a dog to suspend a body in a well. Can't you, though? In other words, Dogen is not the killer. I just want to try. Really? Yeah, I guess, yeah, the body was in there. This crate was moved the night before the show. The body was also switched the night before the show.
I don't think it was just a coincidence.
Keeping that in mind, the question now becomes, why was the cart moved? The cart used to be in front of that door. I can think of one reason why.
Somebody opened that door! Alright, let's hurry up and... The door's locked. Let's ask guard. Hey, Mr. Guard!
Yes, what is it? That was fast. You there. Where's the key to this door? The warden's in charge of it. I'll get it from her right away. The warden is in charge of the keys here. Without the warden's permission, this door can't be opened. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
It's a circuit breaker panel. This must be the breaker room.
On the night before the show, somebody came into this room. I wonder why they would come here.
I don't think anyone would confuse the breaker room with the... I don't think anyone would confuse the breaker room with the break room. It was definitely to operate the circuit breakers. Jesus Christ.
So someone came here to shut off the power to something?
Was there anything that had its power shut off? Yes, there was. Jesus Christ, slow down. Is this the camera? Yeah, I guess this counts as the camera.
Take that!
The security camera footage had the 3-hour gap.
Ah, I see! The circuit breaker for the security camera was tripped!
It's highly possible.
Was this the killer's handiwork?
With the camera down, it'd be easier to move about. The killer would have a major advantage.
I knew it!
That's the case. The killer was the person who tripped the breaker. The person in charge of the key to the breaker room is... It couldn't be. Oh boy, I think Bishop's gotta be right.
Deactivating the recreation.
Why did we teleport? Yay! I thought it was gonna be the warden.
I'm first to the scene, as always.
Good morning, Mr. DeBest.
What, you? How did you get here before me?
Greetings, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I see you have arrived early.
Or maybe it is you who are late, Judge Courtney.
I have many matters which require my attention. I have no time to waste. Unlike a certain prosecutor who was taken off the case. Oh, my apologies. I had forgotten that you were assisting the defense attorney.
An assistant can never be the best. You're falling like the rest.
You just say whatever you like, don't you?
Let us begin our examination of the courtyard, Sebastian. Alright. I'll call him, I'll call a man over.
I can't even do Morty right now.
Oh, jeez, Rick. Alright, I'll call a man over.
That's my fucking phrase to get Morty. Oh jeez, Rick.
Hold it!
That will be unnecessary.
What?
We have already finished the investigation of the courtyard. You've been bested.
Bested? Me?
Judge Courtney? Your reasoning from yesterday. Watch me shatter it to pieces.
I would advise you to choose your words more carefully. Have you forgotten that the fate of your badge rests in my hands?
I have had enough of such coercion. Coercion, I think. Yeah. Can't you think of some other way to threaten me that does not involve my badge?
Despite my repeated warnings, you show no signs of reflection. It seems I must remind you once more. Can't leave someone such as yourself unchecked.
Neither the fate of my badge nor the actions of the committee will impede my progress. Proving Mr. Key's innocence, that is all that concerns me.
Your words are like those of a defense attorney. If you are willing to go that far, then I will show no lenience. In the name of the goddess of law, I shall turn your words against you, and at that moment, you will forfeit the title of prosecutor. You shall regret this.
Oh, it's easy. Also known as the pick.
I shared my reasoning with you the day before. Since Mr. Albert did not see the body when he passed through the tunnel, it could only have been dropped down the well during the show. The only one who could have performed such an act is the suspect.
I love short testimonies. If I remember, there was like in the first game, there were like ages long testimonies where only one thing was important. I hated that. Naturally, you have evidence to support your reasoning.
Of course she does. Who do you think she is?
Earlier, I received the official autopsy report.
Babysitting that kid must be difficult.
The time of death was the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the day before the show. The cause of death remains unchanged, a stab wound 4 inches deep.
Hold on. Okay, it still says sharp metal object.
Simon Keyes was not present on the stage for a period of 15 minutes. There was sufficient time for him to drop the body down the well.
She has not investigated the courtyard yet. That means... It seems there is a hole in your argument.
You seem quite confident. Can you present evidence to support your claim?
Of course I can, and I will. And here we go. I shared my reasoning with you the day before. Since Mr. Albert did not see the body when he passed through the tunnel, he could only have been dropped down the well during the show. I'm guessing I should present it here. Nope, that doesn't work. I do not believe it has any relation to my testimony. Fuck. I somehow have to tell her that the body was suspended in midair. What do the things say? I guess I could show the rope. Okay, I'm gonna start pressing instead, I think. Okay, let's first see. Judge Courtney has not thoroughly examined the courtyard like we have. So there's a bit of a gap in our argument, right? I should review the evidence we obtained in the courtyard. Okay, I did that, but... Oh, come the fuck on. Okay, I guess. Couldn't it be possible that Albert just failed to notice the body?
Miss Assistant's assistant, did you also enter the hole? How do you know? I noticed that there was some mud stuck on your lovely hair ornament yesterday. That's amazing! Your powers of observation would even put the great thief to shame! In the name of the goddess of law, answer me truthfully. If there were a dead body in that tunnel, would it have escaped your notice? Well, the thing is...
Wow, that took a while.
Yeah, I think I would have noticed something like that. Do you understand now? Mr. Albert did not see the body.
Wow. Oh yeah, tell me what you missed. Since I came back, basically. Let's just go through this then. So you continue to believe Mr. Keyes is the murderer?
Just as you continue to speak as if he is not. Do you have any decisive evidence? Do you know the identity of the true criminal?
You do realize you need proper evidence too.
I am a representative of the goddess of law. My words are her holy orders. Indeed, if I state something is black, it is black. If I state something is white, it is white.
So what would you call gray? What?
If you wish to disprove...
What, the goddess of law?
If you wish to disprove my words, then present your evidence at once.
Yeah, basically. I'm trying, and basically the the alligator has metal in it. And what I'm basically trying to solve right now is I'm trying to tell her that the body was suspended in mid-air in the well with a pulley system. But I don't know how to do that. The body was dropped down the well during the show. I'd like to hear your reasoning for this.
The day before the show, Mr. Albert lent the key to Mr. Knightley.
The key to Mr. Knightley's cell, huh?
Mr. Knightley escaped from his cell with the key and entered the cage Mr. Keyes had prepared. Mr. Keyes then moved the cage to the courtyard and proceeded to murder Mr. Knightley. The next day, when Mr. Albert passed through the tunnel, he did not come across the body. Please wait a minute, that doesn't seem right at all. Wasn't there a sweet smell in the tunnel? Mr. Knightley must have passed through it. Mr. Knightley passed through the tunnel after Mr. Albert did. Mr. Albert passed through the tunnel at the start of the show. However, the body wasn't found until the end of the show.
which is why you believe the body was dropped during the show.
Yes, and there's only one person who could have carried out this act. Wait, what?
I mean, I guess I can... I love that what I basically just did is, only the suspect could have dropped the body, and I'm like, actually, the suspect dropped the body! Just didn't know it. Unfortunately for you, Judge Courtney, your argument doesn't hold any water, just like the well. That was a device set around the well here.
What is this device of which you speak?
Are you aware of the stunt in which Mr. Keys is blown away by the elephant during the show?
I have heard of it. It would have been right before he exits the stage.
He tied one end of a length of rope to himself and the other end to a set of weights. He was able to perform the stunt by dropping these weights down the well.
Wouldn't he have spent the whole play suspended up in the air?
That's why he had a stopper attached to the weighted end. The stopper was removed by pulling another rope. Around the well, we found evidence that the weights were switched with the victim's body. This was done by the real killer in order to shift suspicion away from them. Judging from the time of death, the murder was carried out in the early morning of the show. The true criminal had until the time the show started to set up the device.
But didn't Simon Keys make that thing? And since he was also the one who used it, he is the best suspect. Don't you agree?
If Mr. Keys were the murderer, he would not have needed to do that. Miss Berry?
Yes?
Was there anyone else who knew of the device he set up?
Well, let me see. Since we had to get everything about our show approved by the people here around the prison, I'd say there were others who knew about it.
And there you have it.
I see. You have indeed performed a thorough investigation, which is why I'm even further perplexed. Why do you not use your efforts for justice?
My efforts are not just? Who made that decision? Oh, my actions are not just.
You cannot understand even that? Even now? Providing support to a defense attorney despite being a prosecutor, it is quite unnatural. This goes against the rules.
I am merely choosing to do what I think is right at this particular time. I travel down the road I have chosen. Your comprehension does not matter in the least. However, if anyone intends to interfere, I will show no mercy.
Perhaps this is a calling from the goddess of law. If you intend to rebel against her divine will, I will have no choice but to hand down my verdict. Pay heed to my words. I have one more reason to suspect Simon Keys of murder. Whew. If the body came from the courtyard, how was Mr. Knightley brought here from the detention center? Only Simon Keys could have provided such an opportunity. Because of this fact, I find it most ridiculous to suspect any other party of this crime. While Simon Keys was moving supplies for the show, he visited Mr. Knightley's cell. Does that not strike you as odd? Why else would he have brought a large covered cage with him? Oh, that does seem suspicious.
Mr. Keys was merely that kind of person. It is entirely possible that he carelessly brought it there.
If that is possible, then it is also possible that he was assisting in the escape. Am I wrong?
I suppose I must refute her theory with evidence. Let's see. If the body came from the courtyard, how was Mr. Knightley brought here from the detention center? Only Simon Keyes would have provided such an opportunity. Because of this fact, I find it most difficult to suspect any other party of this crime. Mr. Keyes was not the only one with this opportunity. If I can prove that with evidence, I can break this deadlock. Lock. Fuck. I'm not sure I can show anything right now. So I guess I'll press. You seem to believe that Knightley was killed in the courtyard. So can you say when he was brought here?
On the day of the show, between midnight and 8 a.m. I am positive could only have been during that time.
So after rehearsals had ended, and before the show began.
The most pressing issue is...
Hold it!
Are you certain there were no other rounds?
A trial date had not yet been determined for Mr. Knightley. Since he was not a prisoner, he could not have easily entered the prison. He would have stood out too much.
Meaning no one testified seeing him there.
Well done. May you be blessed by the goddess of law. As I said, Mr. Knightley was taken into the prison through a less conspicuous manner.
Only Simon Keyes could have provided that. Are you certain that he was the only person who had the opportunity?
Have you forgotten? This is a prison. Due to the constant supervision, it would be impossible to do anything unusual.
Then wouldn't it be the same for Mr. Keyes?
The warden has shown favor for the Berry Big Circus. Simon Keyes is a circus member, Miss Berry's apprentice no less. It could only have been him. He was able to move about freely within the facility.
It seems that you forgot to mention that.
The word forget does not exist in my dictionary.
Then it would be prudent for you to add this to your argument. Mr. Keyes may have been the only person who could move around freely in the prison. But on the day of the murder, there was a gap in time missing from the surveillance records. During that time, anyone could have done as they pleased. Do I have proof of this gap in the surveillance records? I mean, yeah, I have the gap. Mr. Keyes wasn't the only one who had the opportunity.
Who else could have had the opportunity?
The timestamp on the security camera is off by 3 hours. This means that there was a 3-hour gap in time. During that time, anyone could have done it.
If that were the case, then the murderer would have created the gap in time intentionally. It would not have been a simple camera failure. Are you saying that is possible?
It's possible if you had access to this. In this courtyard, we found the circuit breaker for the security camera. And it was possible to access the breaker room both before and after the murder.
What?
Unfortunately, it appears that you have fallen short of your intentions. Mr. Edgeworth hasn't fallen short of anything! So can you explain how the murderer obtained the keys to the breaker room?
Oh yeah, that's right. It was locked, wasn't it? The warden hangs onto the key, right?
The breaker room has great importance, even in a prison. There is no one who would be able to obtain the key so easily.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Well, I can think of someone.
What did you say?
This person, the murderer, was able to get the key. They didn't even need to steal it.
There can't be anyone like that. Besides, the break room to electrified fence is in that room too.
Only one person could have done this. I didn't want to believe it myself, but I trust that my logic is sound. Actually, Janji, his name is Patricia Rowland. The murderer is... Warden Rowland. Wait.
Darling, that's a voice. Oh my, what an energetic little puppy.
That's because this dog is extremely fond of sweets. It seems to detect a sweet scent on you.
Oh heavens, no. I'm not even wearing perfume or anything of the sort.
What the dog detects is the sweet scent of death.
How poetic. However, does that not imply that I committed a murder?
That's what I think.
What?
The warden is the murderer? Mr. Edgeworth, are you serious about your statement? Oh, how amusing! The very thought of a warden committing a murder. Sounds like something out of a mystery novel. Precisely. Your reasoning is in contempt.
Nothing of the sort. I did not want to believe it myself, but based on the evidence, I have no choice but to believe it. This evidence proves that Warden Rowland is the murderer. I mean, I'd say the circuit breaker, right? Or it's not the circuit breaker. I guess it was the scent then. Joker report this after all? No, it was not Warden Rowland. You are the murderer. Then why don't you show us the evidence? I'm trying. The smell gave you away. As you can plainly see, someone has taken notice.
This police dog.
He tracked a sweet smell that came from the body. And right now, he is telling us the same scent is also on Warden Rowland.
You're a cruel one to accuse me of murder based on something like that. Right, Justine, darling?
It appears that Judge Courtney has reached the same conclusion as I have.
Mr. Edgeworth, this couldn't have been just a coincidence, could it?
The key to the breaker room, and the same scent on the body. If it were only one, it could have been seen as such.
It appears we have reached a conclusion. We should now listen to what the warden has to say.
Indeed, until we do, we cannot close this case.
Oh my goodness! Everyone has with such scary faces. So I'm the only one who could have been the murderer? That just cannot be. I heard all about the case from Justine, darling, here. Had I committed the murder, it would have taken place inside the holding cell. But I couldn't have moved the body. I never went into the prison. I was caught up in my work up until the show. I was stuck in my office. Check up on it if you like. You'll find there's no records of me entering the prison.
Well, I mean, I wasn't, because I didn't know.
I don't know what reasoning you had, but I can say for sure, I cannot be the killer.
But Missile barked at you, pal. You've got to be the culprit.
Oh heavens, it's not possible. I already told you I never went to the prison. If you think I'm lying, why don't you check the records?
She wants us to check the records. She does seem confident. For now, all we can do is listen to her and try to draw out the information.
I do hope you understand, Mr. Edgeworth.
Okay, check up on it if you like. You'll find there's no record of me entering the prison. Let's see what he has to say. Knightley was suspended from the well the night before the show.
What should we do, sir? The lady's got nerves of steel.
But there's no record of her going to the prison, is there?
The records won't help us at the present time. First, let's listen carefully and gather information. Okay, that means I have to press. From Judge Courtney, are you two close?
As close as fish and water. Are you jealous?
Jealous?
On the first day of the investigation, she filled us in on the situation. In exchange for her cooperation, she explained the details of the case to us. What? How could you say that? You're so mean, Justine, darling. The truth is the truth. I believe it should be told as such.
For some reason, those two seem kind of scary. Had I committed the murder, it would have taken place inside the holding cell. The murder occurred in... Can you stop saying that? Inside the cell. How can you be so certain of that?
Well, everyone else would be under surveillance, right? And the victim's blood was found there too.
That blood was actually from when he was struck by Albert, but I don't think it's necessary to inform her of this fact. That doesn't mean it's proven. You do know that.
But I see no contractions in assuming the crime scene was at the detention center.
Contradictions.
Assuming the crime scene was in the detention center.
But I couldn't have moved the body, I never went into the prison. You never went into the prison. Do you have proof of this?
My. Can't you wait for me to finish?
I was caught up in my work up until the show. I was stuck in my office. You were in your office the whole time. Nothing strange happened.
Nope, nothing at all.
Were you looking for something?
I'm not too good at tidying up. I always forget where I put everything. The other day I even lost track of an important piece of evidence.
How could you have made such a grave error?
If someone were to take something from me, I wouldn't have even noticed it the entire year.
I guess it will be hard to attack with the key or the breaker room. With the key to the breaker room.
On the day of the incident, I was working in my office and searching for lost items. In other words, I couldn't have gone to the prison, even if I wanted to.
Okay, let's press this bit then. You did not enter the prison from the entrance. But what if there was another route?
Oh my, are you suggesting something like a secret passage? I don't know if anything like that exists.
It is my firm belief you did possess an alternative route, That route was neither the entrance nor a secret passage. The route you used was from here.
The barbed wire fence.
You would have moved nightly to your office first. This office leads directly to the garden side of the courtyard. If you had moved through here and past the barbed wire fence, you would have arrived at the prison without passing through the entrance or the tunnel.
I wonder what Mr. Edgeworth is saying. Haven't you noticed? There's a high voltage current running through the fence.
Yeah, obviously she couldn't have passed through it like that.
The current of the fence could be switched off at the breaker room. And you were the only one who had the key, Warden Roland.
Most amusing. However, the breaker room is located on the prison side of the courtyard. How would the warden have accessed it from the detention center? Ah, quite right. Gotcha there, Mr. Edgeworth.
That's...
If there is no record of her passing through the prison entrance, it would not have been possible for her to turn off the fence's breakers.
But Warden Roland was the only one who had access. Don't let this phase you, Miles. But if I don't have a solution for this, she'll get away. Now Uncle Ray never said don't think, you know. It's just not good to be so stubborn about it, that's all. But no matter how you think about it, Warden Roland couldn't have done this alone.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you have failed to come up with a... I am not amused, interrupting my judgment only to be silent.
Without thinking, I just blurted out objection. I have to answer, I won't let this end here. My reasoning is not over yet.
So how did she use the breaker without leaving the detention center?
It's perfectly possible with this method. What made it possible to turn off the breaker? She had an accomplice. It was indeed impossible for one person, but what if there were two? Exactly, just what I expected from you, Miles. Yes, you had an accomplice on the prison side.
Enough. I'm disappointed in you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What's that, pal? You making fun of Mr. Edgeworth?
The inmates at this prison all wear bracelets.
Whoa.
If they try to go where they please, they will set off an alarm. So you've noticed, this is a prison after all. Not only the prisoners, but the guards too are under constant scrutiny.
So why didn't anyone notice Elbert?
The only ones allowed to move around freely are the animals. And they certainly could not have used the breaker.
But it's still possible that a person did it.
Excluding the inmates and the guards, what kind of person would you say it was?
We can't exclude the inmates and guards just yet. There was only one person, one whose movement was not restricted. This evidence shows that there was someone in prison who could have moved around freely. Holy shit!
That is, it looks like the bracelet worn by the prisoners.
This belongs to a certain model inmate, and it's broken.
What? Just who on earth does this belong to?
God fucking damn it! Frank Sawit, the warden's favorite inmate. Don't you think it's strange? He managed to keep this hidden while he moved around freely in his daily prison life. Golly, when you think about it, it shouldn't be possible. I'd hazard a guess that this was because he was a special case. Just like Sir Dogan in that special cell.
The prosecutor's statement is mere conjecture.
You could find out by simply asking Sawit himself. It is my firm belief that Mr. Sawit and Morton Rowland are partners in crime. Due to their collaboration, another route surfaces. The real route by which Knightley's body was moved to the prison. There were two obstacles that needed to be dealt with. The security camera in front of Knightley's cell, and the electric fence in the courtyard. Both of these problems could have been solved with a single stroke, by having Sawit switch off the breakers in the breaker room.
Mr. Edgeworth, could you wait for a moment?
Do you still intend to deny it, Warden Rowland? Wow, now I'm just straight up going into Rick and Morty.
I give in. I confess. Warden Rowland, no, this cannot be. Yes, it's just as he says. Frank Sawit and I were partners in crime.
No way!
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth!
Well done, Miles. At last, we have the real culprit cornered.
Like Mr. Edgeworth said, Frankie operated the breaker, but we were not responsible for Knightley's murder.
What?
Warden Rowland, whatever do you mean? Judge Courtney, with the goddess of law... Wait, darling. Judge Courtney, would the goddess of law hear my confession? The goddess of law is merciful. She will absolve you. I was being threatened. That's why I had no choice but to do as I was told. So who was threatening you?
Siran Dogan.
That assassin.
Dogan.
It's been going on since that man came to the prison. I will never forget that day.
Oh God.
When we were both alone, he suddenly said to me,
I have many dogs outside the prison.
Dogs?
Loyal dogs who obey me every command.
I soon realized that what Dogan referred to were not really dogs, but these human henchmen. And that's not all he said.
You better watch how you treat me. If you don't want you and your family to become dog food.
I had no choice. I gave him a special cell. I gave him anything he desired.
Anything he desired? You don't mean the supplier?
That's right. Anything he ordered, I would deliver to him. An underground dealership. I was the one who won over Frankie. It was simple. I just offered him special privileges within the prison. And these underground dealings. Once a week, in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off 2 of the breakers, so I could move from my office to the courtyard without being seen by the security camera. I would go past the fence and drop the goods down the well near the prison. And then I'd sprinkle this perfume over it.
So that's the true identity of the sweet scent. Talking.
The scent of perfume was a signal for Dogan's dog. After picking up the scent, it would carry the goods to Dogan. Of course, this had to be done while Elbert was away from his cell.
I'm surprised you never found out about it, pal.
We have a strict timetable here at the prison. Mealtime, exercise time, it's easy to know when he's away from his cell. And since little Rocky is afraid of Dogen's dog, I didn't have to worry about him making noise.
Yes, Bishop said that already. So having full knowledge of the prison's inner workings, she made the deliveries herself. This would have ensured there were no slip-ups.
Frankie would turn the breakers back on in the early morning, and the delivery was complete. I then modified the timestamp on the security camera. You have told us a great deal. The goddess of law accepts your penitent confession. As a warden of the prison, how could I have done such a foolish thing? The day Knightley was killed was also delivery day. It seems Frankie was working the breakers as usual. But that day I had nothing to send, so I did not go to the courtyard at all.
The secret of the supply system. So then Warden Royland was... I keep saying Royland.
The police have been searching for Dogen's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but... I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but... No matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him.
So the reason you kept on interrogating him?
Yes, it was to find his henchmen.
Jesus, that is scary. Fuck me, that's scary.
I borrowed all the evidence from the police and carried out the interrogation myself. I kept an eye on all his actions and examined all of his mail.
Mail? Like his correspondence chest letters.
But I could never uncover the true identity of his henchmen. This fear, it's something you could never understand. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you were listening, right? I'd say this confession clears the warden of all suspicion. Is it really necessary to press her further than this?
Is it necessary to press her further? Of course it is! Judge Courtney, my questioning isn't over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either.
You mean to badger this woman's further? You mean to badger this woman further?
Even if she was threatened by Dogen. This does not prove she was not the culprit in this case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body.
Do you have any evidence to support this?
The body gave off a sweet scent. The scent of perfume that was used to signify a delivery. Can you explain this fact?
Oh, of course. Since I made so many deliveries, the scent would have lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it. Mr. Albert also testified to this fact.
That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent. A nice scent? I don't know what it was, but it smelled sweet, like candy.
The lingering scent in the well would of course be picked up by anything passing through.
Ugh.
The defense rests, I see. In that case, court is adjourned. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do?
What should I do? Is this as far as I can go?
Is it over already?
Yes, Sebastian, it is. And now, court is officially adjourned.
Well, okay. But...
Who was that?
Oh! It's not nice of you to adjourn things just like that, Courtney Pie. Mr. Shields!
Are you objecting to the court adjourning?
Of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn court. Do whatever you like.
Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Shields?
Whoa there, calm down, Kay. Who wants some chocolate?
Is this a joke?
You'll have to excuse me. I just have one tiny request to make. As Simon Key's attorney...
That's right. You're the defense attorney in charge of this case, aren't you?
Exactly. Did you all forget? That's so mean.
But you just left everyone to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all!
That's right. That's why I thought I'd do my job a bit.
Do your job. That hardly sounds like you at all.
It's to prepare for the trial. I'd like to ask the warden a few questions.
Sure, you jest. What more would you expect to hear from her?
I mean, it's not really a Dan voice at this point. Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit.
My thoughts?
Uncle Ray believes that Simon is not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear you out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's Mr. Shield up to?
He's trying to lure Warden Roland into testifying. Why was the supply route used to transport the body? I'd say it was to pin the crime on Dogan.
I see.
If he committed the murder here, he would be transferred to another prison. One with tighter security.
And that would get rid of the troublemaker.
Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that.
Hey, hold on a second. A culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I was supposed to prosecute.
Exactly. So would it be better if the Bess also listened to what she has to say?
Amazing, Mr. Shields. You managed to drag Mr. DeBest into this too. Warden Roland, is this acceptable? Oh, you. It's fine. It's fine. You understand a woman's heart.
Thank you, mademoiselle.
Actually, I've thought this over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You'll let me speak, won't you, Justine, darling? Of course, you may speak. Mr. Shields, awesome!
Yeah, that was a close shave. Thank you, Mr. Shields. No, I'm still leaving the rest to you. Remember what I said? Oops. A defense attorney never gives up. The fate of our client rests on your shoulders after all. It'd be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, it's your turn to show you'll never give up. Right.
Well then, will you listen to my story?
My story.
I believe the culprit in this case could only have been Dogan. I have no idea what transpired between Dogan and the victim. It simply could have been that Dogan was displeased with him. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. He probably had a dog dispose of a body. This is the truth of the case.
Huh.
The victim, Mr. Knightley, was it? I think it is a truly terrible thing.
Taking a man's life, you mean?
You'd go about saying it, isn't it? If only I'd been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I want to clear up his regrets. Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Mr. Knightley in heaven is overflowing with gratitude.
Is gratitude really what Knightley feels? Could only have been Dogan. You seem very confident of that. How can you be so sure?
The
children of this home are all good little boys and girls. Believe in yourself, believe in your friends, and believe in me and the guards. Wait, shit. There's no way any of these hard-working children could have committed a murder.
Quite an emotional reason. Makes sense coming from someone like her.
Only Dogen could be capable of something like that.
I have no idea what transpired between Dogen and the victim. Knightley was being held in the detention center, and Dogen was in prison. They couldn't make any contact. Don't you think that would have prevented trouble?
The prison is quite confined, right? There were many ways for them to meet.
Knightley was murdered days before he would have been sentenced to prison. Surely there weren't many ways a meeting could have occurred.
Even without a direct meeting, Dogen can still cause trouble, mark my words.
It simply could have been that Dogen was displeased with them. What could Knightley have done in the detention center to displease him?
That was just an example. You don't have to take it so seriously. Didn't I already say that I have no idea what transpired between them? Nevertheless, you certainly are a serious one, Edgeworth dear.
What's that piercing gaze?
Always standing straight and stiff. Very nice. Looking very clever, my dear. I think I'm about to become your biggest fan.
Oh god, no.
Mr. Edgeworth, stay focused. It's just a flesh wound.
Right. Is this some form of psychological warfare? In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder.
Well, I suppose it was a simple job. During his booking, I learned that the victim had some kind of injury to his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the right. I remember him saying something like that.
Booking? That's the process one undergoes before being locked up in the detention center. It sounds like you don't really know a lot about Knightley.
I only know a little. In any case, he would have been an easy target for Dogen. Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. The victim wouldn't even have had a chance to scream.
I see. Your opinion will be very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony?
Oh, you're making me blush. You're so cute. I'm just kidding. I'll continue.
Perhaps you used the chisel hidden in the chessboard. You couldn't have known. Warden Roland, you certainly are sharp-witted.
Hey, enough with the titles. Call me Patty. P-A-T-T-Y.
Oh boy. However, there's something you were a little too knowledgeable about.
Embarrassed? You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth dear.
Gah!
Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth.
You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how did you know about the chisel inside the chessboard?
Oh, of course, the entrance check.
Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check. The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keyes. He didn't even have it when he arrived here. Turning up the music.
That's my mistake. I meant the parcel check.
Even if we assume that, there are still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated?
Aye.
Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trick to his chessboard?
I did not.
If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could not have examined this during the entrance check or parcel check.
Certainly, someone in the warden's position should never have let a chisel slip by.
Exactly. So answer this, Warden Roland. When and how did you learn about the chessboard secret? In that case, I shall answer for you. It is because...
I give up, Edgeworth dear! It is as you say. I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about it. The chessboard. But please believe me, I didn't kill anyone. Enough. It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more, if that's alright with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
No objection, dear.
Thank you, Edgeworth dear. I'll do my best. Well then, Warden Roland, I trust there will be no more lies from here on out.
Her pool of lies is slowly running dry. Soon I will bring out her true nature. Is the thing so? Yes, it is.
I wouldn't go as far as to call it interrogation. I always make sure to talk to all the new arrivals. Mr. Knightley, yes, we had a little chat. After our talk, he went right back to his cell, I assure you.
She's piling lies on top of lies, not realizing that it only tightens the noose around her neck.
You speak with the new prisoners, you say? That's right. I'm glad you understand.
Your testimony is not solid evidence. It requires more than just understanding.
Well then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
Technically, it's a rebuttal.
Call it an interrogation.
You're certain you interrogated him the day before the show?
Yes, around 3 AM on the 27th.
3 at night. That matches with the time of death on Knightley's autopsy report. You summoned him that late at night, and he wasn't asleep. Actually, let me look at the report again. 3 to 6, okay.
Well, a guard was attacked in Knightley's cell, remember? After that incident, we checked his cell and inquired about the circumstances. I'm sure all the excitement made it hard to sleep. Knightley was wide awake, you know.
So even though it was highly irregular, you still carried out this late-night interrogation.
Edgeworth, dear, you're so mean.
Yeah.
It may have been irregular, but the truth is I had him moved. You can call it what you like, it still doesn't change the facts.
Please excuse him, I'll give my incompetent apprentice a good scolding later. But for now, mademoiselle, what did you mean when you said you had him moved?
I thought it was obvious, monsieur. I spoke to him in my office.
Her office? The route she used to move Knightley's body. Please add that statement to your testimony.
Of course. Around 3 AM the day before the show, the victim was brought into my office.
And where is your office located exactly?
You know that sign in the detention center hallway? You mean the one that says no entry? Yes, it's just a short walk up that aisle. About 5 minutes from the cell block.
I've heard that room exits into the courtyard.
Of course. That side of the courtroom is my private garden. Oh, I get it. You're going to say I used that route to move the body.
Indeed. You must have been able to use it if you used that route. If you used it, or something like that.
For now, that is merely a possibility. There is no decisive evidence to support it.
But there is no other way the body could have been moved.
surely you haven't forgotten my theory that Simon Keys dropped the body in the well?
That's right! That's right! What she said!
Pursuing this point further will be hazardous. Let's see. I mean, this was added, but I'll press the rest first. What did you talk about?
What indeed? It was just trifling conversation. What kind of animals he liked, what his hobbies were, that sort of thing.
Hobbies. I assume you mentioned chess?
Oh yes, that's all Knightley would ever talk about. Now that I think about it, the note he had in his room, it probably had something to do with chess too.
So Warden Roland saw Knightley's note. And what was Knightley like during the interrogation?
He was very honest. Mr. Knightley was... honest, pal? He also talked about a croissant and some kind of promo.
Oh my god. En passant and chess piece promotions, I presume. Looks like it was his usual chess-loving self.
After talking, we went right back to his cell, I assure you. Okay, let's press that one.
If he really returned to his cell, there is no way he would be a corpse now.
I know you're suggesting that I killed him during the interrogation, but I couldn't possibly have had a motive to kill Knightley, could I? Dogan was the only one I hated, and he had no connection to the victim.
Oh, I get it. Oh shit, I get it. Knightley was the dog Dogan had outside. And when she noticed that they were playing correspondence chess, she wanted to have him dead because he was gonna kill her. She only hated Dogan. Please add that statement to your testimony.
Dogan was the one I hated, and he had no connection with the victim. Boom.
BAM!
Gotcha, bitch! Judge Courtney, I'd like you to have a look at this.
It looks like a record of a chess game. Is there something wrong with it?
This was discovered in the victim's cell. It was Knightley's memo. Warden Roland, you also discovered this note in the very same place. And not just in Knightley's cell, but in Dogan's too, correct?
What are you?
Don't say that you don't know about the chessboard in the special cell. After all, you would have kept an eye on Dogan's actions, down to the smallest details. No, to be more precise, it wasn't Dogan that you needed to keep an eye on.
The warden was searching for Mr. Dogan's henchman.
From the start, I found it strange that the warden interrogated the prisoners personally, since he used his henchmen to threaten harm to her family. Warden Roland interrogated Dogan to expose them.
So what are you saying?
As you inspected Dogan's mail, you must have known that he played correspondence chess. And then Knightley appeared, with a chess memo in hand. We deduced that he and Dogan were connected. You must have arrived at the same conclusion as well. However, you went one step too far in your reasoning. You thought Knightley was one of Dogan's henchmen, who had come to kill you. So that's why you interrogated Knightley, boy, and the boss won't go after his henchmen. In addition, you discovered something when you were interrogating him. Inside his chessboard, you found a portable chisel.
The murder weapon!
To Warden Roland, this chisel was a symbol of Dogen, and that was the final straw. You believed Knightley was one of Dogen's henchmen and you killed him. It seems there will be no rebuttal. Judge Courtney, your verdict.
Though it is incredibly unfortunate, there seems to be no room for doubt. I shall announce my verdict for the murder of Horace Knightley. Twice my sacred verdict has been interrupted. Who was that?
Is she though?
Warden Roland? Oh, how strange. You guys really don't understand anything.
It would seem the one who doesn't understand is you.
Me? Oh, I understand one thing very well. There is a huge contradiction in your logic, Mr. Edgeworth.
I love that this is only 3 frames. Once she's cornered, she starts spouting nonsense. Pay it no heed, Judge Courtney. Your verdict. God damn it.
I am interested in hearing what the warden has to say.
What?
I thought so. I just have one thing I want to say.
One?
Oh my god, I get it. I fucking get it, cause the best's name in the Japanese version was basically number 1. So when she said, I have one thing to say, he's like,
What? Who said my name?
please take a good look at the autopsy report. The autopsy report, the one I brought with me. I heard exactly what you said earlier, Justine, darling. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches?
no way.
Could that tiny chisel really have made a wound 4 inches deep?
Impossible!
How could I have made such an error? Oh, forgive me, goddess of law. Well, I believe that overturns your hypothesis. What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
But what? What'll we do?
It'll be alright, pal. Mr. Edgeworth always...
Whoa! Hey now, he's got all white.
Hey, you're a defense attorney, aren't you? Isn't there something you can do, pal? Do that turnabout thing! Make some earth-shattering objection!
Uncle Ray's a hard worker, but without decisive evidence, we're just whipping a dead horse here.
Does that mean it's hopeless?
The true killer is Warden Roland. If it's not her, then nothing that's happened fits. But the chisel isn't the murder weapon. Are there any other sharp objects here?
There are still many mysteries remaining in this case. However, we do not have the evidence to solve them at this present time.
Oh, please no.
We have no choice but to continue this battle in the court.
Objection.
That would just give the killer a chance to destroy evidence.
Are you mocking the court?
No, I didn't mean anything like that. You look perplexed, Miles. Thought of anything yet? The chisel is not the murder weapon. In that case, what is? It's no use. We're back where we started.
No objections, Prosecutor Edgeworth? By the way...
Oh yeah, let's just look at it. We have the badge, we have the floor plans, we have the crime scene notes. We have a chessboard. We have a rubber glove, we have a rope, we have a bloodstain sheet, we have a door sensor. We have a prison roll call. We have Savit's bracelet. We have a hound piece. We have prison investigation, where they didn't find a murder weapon. We have Knightley's memo, which was connected to Dogen. We have the security footage, we have a security gate, and we have tunnel footprints. The autopsy report, a chisel that is not the murder weapon. We have his bell. And Simon's device. And the circuit breaker. That's it.
By the way, any baseless statements will be punished accordingly.
Oh shit. See, it's pretty big, but it's still supposed to be a sharp metal object, according to the autopsy report right here. It's no good. I can't think of anything. I need more time. I regret to say, I have no...
No, Mr. Edgeworth! Remember what Mr. Shields said! If you give up, Simon will... Have you forgotten that sad look on his face?
Oh, the other bell is, Oh, shit! Oh, shit! You're right! You're totally right!
He was the one who suffered most from Knightley's death.
It's fucking Dogan's... It's Dogan's fucking knife that Warden Roland, like, Warden Roland fucking confiscated Dogan's knife, and that's what she used.
If we can't save him, who will? Besides, Simon believes in us, so we can't give up.
Okay. Miles, looks like we found a good partner. It's like little K says, whenever you're backed into a corner, think of your client. Yeah, it hasn't. Keep fighting until the very end. Isn't that the feeling you're getting? Gregory, your old man. No matter what trouble he faced, he would always turn things around and save his client. You've got his blood in you, right? In that case, you're the only one who can turn this around. Judge Courtney?
The look in your eyes has suddenly changed. If you do intend to speak, you'd better be prepared to face the consequences. Your logic thus far has been misplaced numerous times. If this were to happen again, I would consider you unfit to call yourself a prosecutor, and you will hand over your badge.
That's right. My reasoning about this case has indeed been misplaced numerous times. Have I made a grave miscalculation? Wait, my logic is misplaced?
Still silent? I cannot condone this waste of time. Well then,
Mr. Edgeworth!
Mr. Edgeworth! I will announce my verdict.
That's it. I have to turn my logic around. My logic isn't misplaced, it's been misled.
This court finds the defendant Simon Key...
Isn't it a little early to hand down a verdict?
I actually think it's rather late, don't you agree, Justine, darling? Enlighten us.
What?
Try to remember. The eyewitness account about his dog and his absence from the animal show. When I first heard that information, my suspicion immediately fell into Dogan.
I am amazed you take such pride in retelling your previous failings.
But was that not the killer's aim? What if we assumed that was their intention from the start? Of course, the chisel served the same purpose. Knightley's body was stabbed in the same spot with multiple sharp objects. This shows that he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon was removed. By soaking the chisel in Knightley's blood, The killer wanted to mislead us into thinking the chisel was the murder weapon. Why? That's because... Why did the killer want us to think the chisel was the murder weapon? Warden Roland, you made use of this chisel's image.
Chisel's image? What are you trying to say?
Mr. DeBest, when you see this chisel, what does it suggest to you?
Eh? Something like... Dogan is the killer, right?
Now do you understand? That was the Warden's aim.
Ah! She wanted us to suspect the person with the chisels!
Indeed, it was her plan from the very beginning. To make Sir Dogan out to be the killer.
I understand your logic. It is true the Warden did not think kindly of Dogan, but you understand, don't you? You understand, don't you? This alone does not prove she is the killer.
As I thought, it's not enough. The remaining chance is for me to find the real murder weapon.
If you have no more evidence, I believe this conversation is over.
I could prove it if I found the real murder weapon.
It doesn't matter what you say. We did a clean sweep of this place.
It is as Sebastian says, in the end, we could not find any weapons. In other words, such proof is impossible.
No, the murder weapon must still be somewhere in this prison. As long as this exists.
The security gate!
You remember its name after all.
Are you mocking me? It's because of those things that you can't take metal objects in and out of this place. Ah!
Right. As long as those security gates exist, the murder weapon should still be here.
That also means no weapon could have been brought into the prison. In the end, we're back to the same mystery after all.
Judge Courtney?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, surely you've realized, if the real murder weapon is still in the prison, one must also consider how it got here in the first place.
The chisel was concealed within the chessboard. But the chisel is not the real murder weapon, which means the real murder weapon must have been smuggled in somehow.
The way it was smuggled in, can you prove that?
How Warden Roland brought the weapon into the prison. You had evidence transferred from the precinct.
Yes, we've already all the evidence concerning Dogan. I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but...
That's it. She could have used that. This shows another way a weapon could be brought into the prison.
Take that!
And here we go. Yesterday, Dogan said this. Yes, my bells. There are only 2 in the world. Only 2? They're custom made. Attached to my knife and Anubis collar. Even though I can only rely on my ears, I can easily identify them. Fuck! Alas, one has been confiscated and is not in my possession. It's possible the murder weapon was brought in as confiscated evidence.
What?
Dogan's knife was confiscated and stored in the premises. Furthermore, a bell was attached to the knife.
It can't be. The bell on that chisel...
Exactly. The killer took it off from the knife and reattached it to the chisel.
But the only fingerprints on this chisel are Knightley's.
The killer probably wore gloves when they made the switch. She made the chisel out to be the murder weapon by attaching Dogan's bell, and in doing so made Dogan appear to be the culprit. Furthermore, the handling of the set of evidence that this bell originally belonged to was only possible for someone with the proper authority.
Who, sir? Who had the authority?
Why don't we ask the warden what she thinks?
You can find bells anywhere. Anyone could have attached it, right?
I see. So you don't know. These bells are Dogen's trademark. There are only 2 in the world.
What? What?
And so, attaching the bell would naturally make you the killer.
Do you have evidence that I have the knife? You don't, do you?
Of course, I understand. In that case, Mr. The Best, I'd like you to request an investigation immediately.
Eh? But if you find it, it'd be problematic for me.
That doesn't matter now. It is necessary that we reveal the truth. You are the prosecutor, are you not?
Well, even if you say that...
Curse this useless prosecutor! If only I still had investigative rights.
Besides, we can't investigate without the warden's permission, right?
There's no way she would approve. We have no choice but to investigate ourselves.
If you don't have evidence, there's no use in continuing this conversation. The goddess of law does not smile upon those with no evidence. This will have to be continued in the courtroom.
Not good. If we give the warden more time here, she'll definitely destroy the evidence. It seems like I have no choice but to raise an objection and stall for time. But I don't have anything definite. Is that really acceptable? Is it really like me to do something this reckless? No, not good. Now is not the time for hesitation. Right now I'm not a prosecutor, but an attorney's assistant. I need to protect my client. I'm the only one who can save him now. In that case, even if it's a 1 in a million chance, I have to take it. It's sink or swim. Should I raise an objection? I kind of want to do this. I kind of want to... Nah. No, I must not object now.
It's not like you to let the killer get away when they are right before your eyes.
That's right. I can't come to a standstill here. Hold it! Wait, that's not what I said. I said objection. What's going on?
Prosecutor Edgeworth? What now?
I just realized something.
What would that be, pray tell?
Naturally, the whereabouts of the real murder weapon. Dogen's knife!
Mr. Edgeworth, is that really true?
Yes, though it is a lie.
I find that hard to believe. This is a bluff, is it? This isn't a bluff, is it?
You underestimate me. The word bluff does not exist in my dictionary. This is bad for my heart. Yeah, it's definitely in her code.
There's no way you could know, because such a thing doesn't even exist.
Oh, I have the metal detector still, I think.
Well then, could you enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon?
Think. Somewhere the police didn't look. A blind spot in this animal-filled prison. A hiding place the warden would have complete confidence in.
Hiding place? Come to think of it.
Oh, come on. It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth. The same method? No, it couldn't be, could it? Oh, it's not her! It's the alligator! And the alligator reacted to the fucking metal detector earlier! But there aren't that many ways to hide things from an investigator's eye.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting?
It's possible, but I'm taking a big gamble here. The place where the real murder weapon is hidden is here! Okay, I'm gonna use the touchscreen for that because that's too precise.
Take that!
Here in the courtyard.
Indeed!
That's not enough information. Please show us in more detail.
Where's the real murder weapon hiding?
Take that!
Bam! That's it. Back then. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It looks like the metal detector is reaching to this alligator.
Really? Why?
Of course. That's why the metal detector reacted. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to take a look at this.
The chisel?
Wasn't that just the fake murder weapon?
Dogen hid this chisel inside his dog's mouth, and the real murder weapon was hidden in very much the same way. The real murder weapon is in the pond, inside the alligator!
What? What?
We can confirm that the metal detector reacted to the alligator. Judge Courtney, please have the inside of the alligator examined.
I give my consent. We'll have to call a veterinarian.
Fisher, does that mean you're okay?
I can make that little girl open her mouth. Can I help?
Yes, go ahead. Wow, you did literally nothing. Warden Roland, discovering the real murder weapon will settle this matter once and for all. Why don't you do the honorable thing and confess now?
What I have to confess?
In that case, you can just wait for your fate to be sealed.
Ah, we found it, sir! Just where you said it would be.
It's over. Patricia Rowland, the real murder weapon is none other than Dogen's knife. And the one who murdered Horace Knightley can only be you!
Dogen was the evil one. I didn't do anything wrong. It was completely reasonable. That guy was one of Dogen's henchmen. Him. If only he had never come to my home. I could at least still be happy. My special paradise. He ruined it. All of it. Him. That no good assassin. Him.
Whoa! That was amazing. Mr. The Best of the Best, we have the results. The best of the best. Looks like even the forensic officers have it tough. Okay, so here's the thing. I have seen every breakdown of this game. I definitely have, but not often. I did remember the breakdowns of Case 1, but those were still very interesting to go through because it was 3 breakdowns and they came at very weird times. For this case, I legitimately somehow did not remember either of the two breakdowns at all. I don't know how. We found traces of Knightley's blood on Dogen's knife. It was just like you said. You're the best, Mr. the Best.
Alright, good job, but don't stop there. Keep the praise coming.
Yes, sir, you're so incredible. It brings tears to my eyes. From sorrow?
Well done, Sebastian. Next comes the follow-up investigation.
Huh? What are you talking about, Justine? Hasn't the case been solved already?
We have not yet confirmed if Knightley truly was one of Dogen's henchmen. There is also a chance that Warden Roland jumped to conclusions.
Oh!
That is the remaining uncertainty in this case.
Anyways, let's keep investigating. Hey, you there, come with me. Since I'm the best, the truth will appear before me first.
And he's just like, guys, still here. Kinda hurts a lot.
When that moment arrives, make sure you don't miss it.
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to witnessing your first-rate ability.
Let's go!
We live in troubling times, wouldn't you agree? The would-be assassin of the president was found murdered in the prison.
Guys, please! God, my neck still hurts. Especially with this wound in it. Ah! Knightley had not planned to assassinate the president.
The truth is not as vital as you seem to believe it to be. Not to the world, and not to the law. That can't be right! Believe what you will, however. As long as Prosecutor Edgeworth remains a prosecutor, it is an inescapable reality.
A prosecutor is not someone who demands a guilty verdict. That is what I believe.
Those are merely your values. The law is not the plaything of only one person, of any one person. If you will not submit to that, you will do well to prepare for the consequences.
What's that supposed to mean, pal? Don't tell me you're gonna...
Now then, this is where I must take my leave, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
Judge Courtney is right. The law should not serve any one person's desires. However, the truth is spent as a result of that. Can that really be called justice? Oh god, what was his voice again?
Ah, Simon! Boss! What happened? They said you could come out already? Well, honestly, I don't know for sure. All of a sudden, they were like, you're free to go, and you should thank Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that's because he found out who the real murderer was. Really? He did, Mr. Edgeworth? No, wait. Even if you clear at me like that, it's useless. I'm innocent after all. You can't make me guilty. Simon, you should really thank him, you know?
This is like the worst voices to listen to all combined.
You're right. Thank you very much. I want to thank you too.
Good grief.
Mr. Defense Attorney, can I ask just one more question?
Yes, if you may, but I'm not a defense attorney.
I thought that Knightley and I were friends. No, I mean best friends. I always thought we were.
You don't think that anymore?
Well, I'm just wondering, There were some things about I had no idea about, like how he could hate someone enough to kill them. That's why maybe he never trusted me either. Simon, that's not true. You're lying, because if I had known, I could have spotted him. I would have told him he had no need to be angry with anyone.
Mr. Keys, I don't think he disliked you either. Let's try and prove that Knightley trusted him. Oh, stopped him. Oops. I mean, I'm gonna guess it's this.
Take that!
It's that.
That's what I gave to.
Knightley had a chisel inside it, most likely to aid in his escape.
Escape? He used me?
He trusted in you. He knew you'd bring it to him without looking into it and without question. And in doing that, you were caught up in everything.
What? Deadly, you idiot! It looks like he gets it. Simon is not as dumb as he looks after all. I'm sure I'll be back to normal by tomorrow.
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
Oh! I'll be strong. I'll become a splendid wild animal tamer. For Knightley's sake.
Excellent, that's the spirit. Well, most of the falsetto voices should be gone after this case. Hey, look, the monkey is Remy.
Oh, I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Regina Big Berries circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Wow, that sounds like fun. Let's go, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I think about it.
Well, we need to get back to practicing right away. You'll be with Regent today. What? The tiger? No, wait. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. He's a good boy. No way. There's no way it'll be fine. Please cut me a break, boss.
And there you go. There you go. But man, bravo. You really put on a good show today, Miles. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Shields. Without your help, she might have gotten away. Not to mention allowing us to continue the investigation. Oh man, cut it out already. You're gonna make me blush. I never know when you are being serious. Uncle Ray is always serious. So how was it, Miles? How did it feel to be a defense attorney? To save people? A defense attorney. But that really took me back. It was just like being next to your old man again. It's been a while since I felt this good. It was, well, it's somewhat difficult to say it was a good thing. Come on, Miles, are you sure you don't want to be a defense attorney? What? You know, pick up where your father left off. Don't you want to save people like he did?
What are you talking about, pal? Mr. Edgeworth's the prosecutor.
But is it really that unusual for a prosecutor to become a defense attorney these days?
Unusual? Unusual isn't the problem here.
Hey, don't be so upset. It's normal, you know. Normal.
It's not.
Normal, pal. Yeah. You'd all make for a powerful defense team. Okay. Mr. Shields, I'm a prosecutor, and Uncle Ray's a defense attorney. That's why I'm being serious about this. Well, that's just my opinion. Feel free to drop by any time. If you have a change of heart, I'll be waiting for you. Follow in my father's footsteps. Me, become a defense attorney.
I'm going to become a defense attorney just like my dad.
Do I have to give him a voice now? Oh, okay, no. Should I become a defense attorney? Like my father? The end. The inherited turnabout. Yes, let's please save. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's been it for today. I don't think I will beat one chapter of the next case in 45 minutes. But I'm also excited for this because it apparently breaks emulators. But yep, I guess that's it. Yeah. See you guys in Discord or the Wind.